A Sikh man was brutally thrashed by a goon in Chicago. The goon allegedly hurled racial abuses at this person, and we spoke to the legal director of the Sikh Coalition in Chicago. This is what they said.
So the details of what happened to Mr. Mukker.
Sure, Mr. Mukker had left his home around 5:30 in the evening yesterday to just drive to the grocery store, run an errand. And he was in his car, and another car was next to him, and the driver began shouting at him, saying things like terrorists and bin Laden and Osama, go back to your country. And so he, continued driving. They both made left turns, and this car was parallel to his and kept trying to cut him off. And so after several blocks, Mr. Mukker pulled over, hoping that the other car would drive on. But the driver actually parked right in front of his car, exited his vehicle, and came up. Mr. Mukker's window was open, and he just began bashing his face and injured him quite badly.
This hasn't happened, violence against Sikh people, hasn't been reported for some time. So do you see any pattern, or, particularly there was this incident in Wisconsin at the temple, and, there was an incident in Alabama with the Hindu man. Do you see any pattern in this, or is this just an isolated incident?
I think I don't think there's any, links in terms of the perpetrators of any of these. I think the only link is that these people have sort of grave misunderstandings about who Sikhs are and who South Asians are, and that's that's a problem. It goes beyond misunderstanding, but also hatred towards those people.
Okay, there was also reports that he was racially abused and called bin Laden and things like that. So is that correct?
Yeah, the man was yelling at him while they were driving. He said bin Laden, Osama, terrorists, go back to your country, that sort of thing.
What follow-up action do you see? Because the police have arrested the perpetrator. How do you see the follow-up action from here on?
So, our request was that the police investigate this and the prosecutors prosecute the case as a hate crime, and we actually did have a very good phone conversation late in the day with the police chief of Darien, the town that this happened in, and he did confirm that they did also suspect that it was a hate crime. They were actively investigating it in that manner and working with the prosecutor's office. So that was good news, and that's what we want. We do want hate crimes to be prosecuted appropriately as hate crimes.
Condemn this attack on the Sikh youth in Chicago. And in America, I think this is very common. After 9/11, Sodi, a petrol pump owner in Arizona, was killed. Where this attack has happened yesterday in Chicago, the Oak Creek Gurdwara, the Sikh temple, is very near in Milwaukee, where attack was there and 6 people were made to death by an assassin. Ultimately, he was also killed. Obama government lowered their flags to half-mast after that killing, and I think American government has to do a lot on this, because 60% of Americans don't know who Sikhs are. 48% of Americans think that Sikhs are Arabs. So I think this misconception had to be removed, and I think Government of India must take up this issue. We as Sikhs and our temples in America, we are taking up these issues, we are educating the people, but on government level, America must also do something.